Up, everybody? Sorry for being late. Welcome to Steel City Live. Yeah, I was a little bit late, had things going on, but I am here now. What's up in the chat to everybody? What's up, Miss Pittsburgh? What's up, Russ? What's up, Roberta? Tom Ford? What's up? Absolutely. Good to see everybody. I'm going to get through all the chat questions. Thank you, Miss Pittsburgh. Yes, awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that so very much. Fifth super on a live stream for Miss Pittsburgh. Thank you so very, very much. Awesome. I'm going to get in here, guys, and read the chats. Good to see you all. Danny George. We still got to figure that out, too. I still got to, my Lord, my life is chaotic right now, guys. We will get it done, though. Everything will get done. I just always remind myself of that. I try not to get too crazy. I've been trying not to get as wound up as I normally do over some things. So I've been trying just to relax. No, it'll get done. No, things will fall into place. So, yeah, no sense in just being crazy about it, but we'll get there, guys. No doubt about it. Let me get through the chat here, answer anything that you guys, Jason phone home. I'm here, man. I'm here. In my meds the Eastern. No, you're right, Roberta. You're right. I'm sorry. I was running late. Russ says, I'm very concerned with O-line injuries. Call Big Zach Banner. He's healthy again and in great shape. Brings excitement to the team. Yeah, hopefully he'd bring excitement to the football field because, man, is he terrible as a broadcaster. Oh, he's so horrible, man. But, yeah, man, I always like to watch him play. I thought it was very cool to see him out there in his days of playing football, man. Now they need to bring somebody in. It seems like we're going to talk about that here in a second. But yeah, you had Isaac Siamalu, guys, go down with that injury today. What does that mean for the Pittsburgh Steelers offensively in the line department? You know, we talk about it all the time and how very important it is for the offensive line to secure it's starting five to start to gel, to start to get this ball rolling and build toward that ultimate goal of being a playoff caliber offensive line, an offensive line in which you're not going to have the quarterbacks running for their life. And so far in the preseason, the quarterbacks really were running for their life. It is what it is. It's what has been put on tape thus far. And having Isaac Siamalu, reports out of Pittsburgh, early reports, saying what a month right now for Isaac Siamalu. They really dodged a bullet, according to many, that it is just a strain, not a tear, nothing that requires any type of surgical procedure. At least that's the news I've heard thus far. So, yeah, that is a heavy blow. But who will take the place of Isaac Siamalu? Early reports there are Spencer Anderson, the young man that has been with this football team now year two. So he's a guy that you're hoping has developed enough to be able to take on that role and fill that void of an all-pro guy like Isaac Siamalu, a guy that's played on a Super Bowl team. That's the big reason Isaac was brought into this franchise, and that was his experience and his experience particularly playing in a Super Bowl, being on a good team like the Eagles at that time. And yeah, you want that across your offensive line. You want that experience. You want that knowledge. And it is a heavy blow in my eyes. And I think Spencer Anderson can foot the bill, man. I think he can get up there and fill in. I think at least, for a few weeks. I don't know if I'd want to see him all season, but because I love the way Isaac Siamalu plays. But right now, I think that's, a monster blow, man. And I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. You do have Mason McCormick. He is a rookie. The other guard position, he usually plays on that right side. Spencer, definitely, though, I think can get it done. I'm really confident. I think he'll be all right there. But, man, it's going to be tough. Let me get through. Tomlin declared Russell Wilson as the starter for the first game. Yeah, surprise. Yeah, Tom, he did do that, and we all knew what that was. There was, again, guys, there was never a competition. We knew who was going to be the guy. Russell Wilson being named, yeah, I just didn't find it to be earth-shattering news from Mike Tomlin. He kind of acted and hyped it up like it was some sort of major decision which he had to make. It wasn't. He knew what he was going to do. He had already had that set in place. And again, it is easier to sit Russell Wilson as opposed to putting Justin in there, letting him perform poorly, having to go to Russ. It just makes sense all around. Every part of the situation makes sense when you start Russell Wilson. A lot of people say Russell Wilson's washed up. They say that he can't get it done anymore. We'll soon find out, won't we? Week 1 is rapidly approaching, less than 2 weeks away. You're getting down to single-digit days here almost. So it's definitely you're down to about 9 days. So here, real quick. The Steelers really got to lock in here, and Russell Wilson is the logical choice, especially behind an offensive line. I think. No, I'm going to change my mind about that. With the offensive line being maybe beat up, you might want to go with a guy like Fields just because of his athleticism. I don't think Fields should be a starting quarterback for this franchise right now, long term. I prefer Russell Wilson, but just when I said that out loud, it made me think to myself, if the offensive line isn't going to block, you're going to have to run for your life. Maybe Justin might be the best choice. You wonder there with that offensive line being hurt, and that's maybe the logical choice. It may very well may be. What would TJ be getting suspended for, Tom? I didn't see that. I have not heard anything about TJ Watt being possibly suspended. I have no clue what that would be about. I have not heard any news about that. You'll have to fill me in, Tom. I have not heard that at all, not even nowhere at all. I mean, 0 places, and you figure that would be really, really huge news. Thank you, Danny. Yeah, for what? What's up, family? ITD. Just going through the chat, guys, getting through everything. I only had time to read the headlines. Okay. I'll try to find it here, Tom. I'll see, bud. I'll try to find it and see what we can find here. I'll bring up a tab and see. But I feel like that would be major, major news. I'm going to just type it in here, though. Just out of curiosity, because you've piqued my curiosity now. Derpy Entertainment, I give it 4 games before they start booing. But that's just me. Steelers haven't finished last in the division since 1988, so we will see. I don't think they're going to finish. Yeah, I think you saw a clickbait thing there, Tom. It's not on anything reliable that I look at. You might have ran across a clickbait type thing. That's just searching for views, trying to pump their channel up, and using TJ Watt's name and a hashtag will get them views. But people don't realize when they do that kind of shit that typically it doesn't get you long-term success. You might get one video to do well, but in order to be monetized, you have to be able to accumulate a certain number of subscribers. You have to accumulate a certain number of watch hours. It's not as easy as just, getting people to click on things. It takes a while to build things and get it monetized and do the whole rigmarole of doing this. It's taken me a very long time to build this, over a year and a half, to build this channel, to be a monetized channel, to be a channel in which I met all the criteria. And some of these clickbait channels, I don't think realize that. But again, guys, we're all so quick and looking at stuff. I do it too. I'll click onto these things where it's like, Kim Jong-un or whatever's, making, doing water paints at the end of the video, but at the beginning it's ESPN talking about Russell Wilson versus Justin Fields, talking about the Steelers offensive line. It's a clip from ESPN, and it was made by Xing Jinping, that's the channel name, and it's like, how are these people allowed to pirate that? I've brought that up before. I just don't understand that shit. It makes me crazy. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, Russ. I appreciate that. What's up, D? Kevin Scheuer, Wilson was always going to be the guy. Yeah, no doubt. Daniel Warman, I really think people are not giving the Steelers much credit. Their roster is stacked. Bless you, my friend. Thank you, Daniel. I don't know. I got to say this. If you look at this Pittsburgh Steelers defense and you're not going to give them credit for a top 5 unit in the NFL right now as it sits before any real games are played on paper, I don't know what you know about defense. I would question your knowledge of defensive play. I think the Steelers looks to me, at least from the outsider's view, that the Pittsburgh Steelers definitely look like they have a top 5 defense. Period. No doubt about it. Now, offensively, I think there could be some work, but work done and upgrades made. But I definitely think the Pittsburgh Steelers have an offensive unit in which can compete. I definitely think that they have quarterback play that can compete. Is it championship level quarterback play? I'm not so sure. I don't think so, but hopefully it is. But it's definitely not basement dwellers. It's definitely not a team that's going to sit 4th in the division. It's definitely a better team than it was last year that went 5-1 in the division. It's definitely a better team than we've had since 2020, in my opinion, as a whole. And you look at the Steelers' record throughout the division since 2020, there's only one team that's even competed with them, and that is the Cincinnati Bengals, and they have a 500 record against them. All other teams, they own them. They've owned them. Lamar Jackson has literally like a 1-7 match or a 1-7 record against the Steelers or some dumb shit like that. I just don't know how that can continue to be overlooked. I mean, everybody wants to talk about analytics and stats, but we ignore the stats that show the real outcomes of the games, the real situation. It is what it is. I don't know. You can go beat up on everybody, I guess, outside of the division, but I feel like divisional play really matters, man. It really is something to hang your hat on. You're seeing these teams 2 times in one season, man. They know you, you know them. It has to be a highly physical, highly competitive game each time out. That's the only way you can win them. And I think the Steelers have proven to be the most highly physical team in that division, and they've done well. What's up, Brent? I just want to say it's nice to have a pod stream for working man's time frame. Hey, there you go, Brent. DFYI, if you are on mobile, you can double tap the screen on the light. Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate you telling people that. Yes, guys, you can double tap and you can do that. Thank you, dude. Appreciate that. Is Warren still injured? That's from D. He will be back supposedly for week 1. That is according to all the reports out there from the team, from Jalen Ward himself. He should be ready to go down in Atlanta to take on the Falcons. And I would look for the Steelers to honestly probably woe him back with a guy like Cordell Patterson on the roster. I think that you will see a little bit less of Jalen Warren there at the beginning of the season. I think he'll be ready to go, but you're not going to see the amount of production, the amount of snaps that you might be accustomed to seeing from a guy like Jalen Warren coming out of last year and what you're going to expect from him this year with the way he played in last year's campaign. So I just think they'll probably slow roll him back in a little bit since they have Patterson back there that can handle some of that workload and break some of those carries up for Jalen and do a little bit of moving around, and sliding in and out of the backfield, to wide receiver spot, to the slot receiver, to the backfield, allowing the Steelers to get creative a little bit in their motions and their check in and out of plays. To where they can do some different things. I think Patterson gives them that element too. I think Jalen gives them that element also because he's a versatile back too. So I definitely like all that kind of stuff that they're going to be able to do. Let me get a drink, guys. Make sure you're hitting a shit out of that like button for us here on Steel City Live. A little bit later than we normally like to go, but hey, sometimes it is what it is. Kevin Scheuer, 2022. Wilson struggled a little, but last year he did pretty solid, and that was with Sean Payton openly hating him and not having his back. Too. When you look at Sean Payton's offense, guys, if you ever Go onto YouTube. You can go onto YouTube, I'm sure, and find it. But if you ever go on and listen to a Sean Payton play call, it is super, super complex. And it is sentences, not just one, it is sentences. Um, it's pretty complex. And I just don't think Russell Wilson and Sean Payton vibed. And I think learning that type of complex offense, that type of system with that type of verbiage and those types of checks in and out of plays, that type of system isn't a system that you just learn in 1 year. It isn't a system that you master in 1 year. And I don't think people take that into consideration either. And there aren't many quarterbacks that can go into a Sean Payton system and pick it up year one, do it and be fine-tuned. It's a pretty daunting task, if you ask me. And if that's part of the equation, because we got to be fair, we got to add everything into it. I got to consider Russell Wilson's performance in 2023 pretty damn good, if you ask me. He threw a lot of touchdown passes. He did what he had to do. He was in a system in which it takes a long time to learn. He had a coach, just like Kevin said, that they necessarily didn't see eye to eye. They didn't get along. And they were willing to separate and pay $38 million for him not to be there. Brent, so let the Allen hate begin. Did anyone see overrated quarterback list? I don't know how anybody could overrate Josh Allen or put him on a list of overrated guys because he is a tough dude. And I'm no Bills fan, let's face it. So this is an outsider's point of view, an outsider that is giving you a truthful answer. Josh Allen has deficiencies, absolutely. All quarterbacks do. But to call him overrated is ridiculous. He is a monster, dude. He's big body, dude. He can run the football. He's tough, man. He's super tough. And he got a cannon for an arm, and he can put it in tight spaces and get the job done, dude. He's led the Bills team to playoff victories. He's done the things he's had to do. Has he been able to get to the top of the mountain? No, but not everybody does. But definitely, I think Josh Allen so far in his career has been successful. I think what you deal with when you start to get those quarterbacks, though, is those monster inflated salaries that you have to pay them. And I think that trickles down throughout the roster, man. And it starts to put more and more of the burden, more of the team on that quarterback's back. And they have to carry a little bit more of the team. And, that's a little bit of an adjustment period. So we'll see what Josh Allen provides this season, but definitely not overrated in my eyes and definitely one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. And toughness matters to me. And being able to throw the football like the way Josh Allen throws the football, like a freaking laser beam, like a rocket ship. That matters to me too. And I think he definitely possesses a lot of those talents that you like. Daniel Warman, that was the Bengals praying about TJ. Yeah, man, if I was Joe Burrow, I'd pray because, man, TJ does have Joe Burrow's number with those interceptions at the line. That's an unreal thing, dude. You look inside of the AFC North, and you don't see anybody else doing that to Joe Burrow. Even around the league, you don't see people doing that to Joe Burrow. It just seems like TJ has him timed up. And Joe's going to have to really adjust to that this season because TJ has his number thus far. Himothy. LOL, Steelers fans warming up for another mid-season where they don't win shit but still have a horrible draft spot before the TV had color. Buddy, we've won 2 Super Bowls in the modern era. What are you talking about before the TV had color? Who's your team, bro? Who's your team, Himothy? How many Super Bowls do they have? How many championship rings do they possess? I'm going to go out on a limb and say 0 or close to it. Russ, not only do we have the best host, but we have the best chat family. Yeah, we do have an awesome chat family here. So if you're from any team, you're a fan of any team, and you want a cool place to come and just bullshit, this is it, man. This is your spot. Defense looks good. QB and offense shockingly bad. I wouldn't say shockingly bad. I think that's gross overstatement. I think it was just clickbait. A lot of people were calling it fake news. I read the headlines, and that was it. Yeah, I see a lot of that stuff, man. It's all right, Tom. It's worth bringing it up. You never know, man. Kevin Shore, he's asking, Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. You got Kenny Pickett with his little tiny hands. I have bigger hands than Kenny Pickett. No, Kenny Pickett ain't got no guts, bro. He ain't got no guts. I feel bad for the Eagles for even getting him. Yeah. Eagles, though, man. We'll see if they have another performance like they did in 2023, because you want to talk about stacked rosters. They had a stacked roster in 2023 also, and they weren't able to get it done. Now, I'm a big fan of Jalen Hurts. I'm not going to sit here and knock a guy that I really am a fan of. I think he's a quality guy, but man, yeah, they didn't get it done with a stacked roster last year, so we'll have to see how it goes this year for them. Jason Ferguson, LOL. Kevin Schroeder, tush push is dead. Same with their Super Bowl hopes. That's a good one. Russ says the Steelers are winning that Super Bowl. They're going to kiss that Lombardi. Jack, oh, we're not going there. Steelers needs to shake something for the future. Seems like not many build blocks for the future. Not sure what you're talking about there, bro. You can put it back in. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. I know it's hard to type on the phone. Jason Ferguson, you're talking smack and you're a fan of a team that hasn't been relevant up until the past years. I think the defense is a little better this year and the offense is significantly worse. I think significance a reach, man. I think it's better than what it was last year. Yeah, I think there were times last year that it shined, but I just think the Steelers wanted to go in a different direction. They cleaned house. They did what they had to do. I still think that the tight end room's solid. I still think the offensive line has potential due to the young talent. I think that they will be able to get it going. It's just going to take a few weeks to get it moving in terms of the offensive line. I think Jalen and Najee are solid players, but that's going to be conducive to what the offensive line can do in terms of their production. And definitely, I don't think the wide receiver room is as bad as some people make it out to be. I think Van Jefferson, really the only time healthy in his short NFL career. He's a double-digit touchdown Super Bowl winning wide receiver with almost 1,000 yards. Playing with Matthew Stafford. So I'm not sure how people continue to discount that guy. Calvin Austin is a dangerous weapon. I think he added more to his game this year. I think Roman Wilson does have potential if he can ever get healthy. I think Scotty Miller's a solid veteran. I definitely think they can still get it done, man. John Broadway, I liked and prefer when you win the division outright by beating everyone in our division. It used to be that way. I love the bragging rights of really playing well in the division. And people shit talk, the Steelers due to their lack of playoff success in the last almost a decade here. And I get it, and it's warranted. I'm cool with it. But last year in 2023, I just say this, 5-1 within the division. It's a hard statistic to argue against. So, I'm down for it. Yeah, the screen name's cool. I just didn't want to say it, Russ. Jalen Warren is up there with Pickens and Freiermuth. Himothy, okay, now a Steelers fan is talking about how Sean Payton is worse for Russ than whoever the Steelers OC is. I never said worse. We never said worse, Himothy. Buddy, the thing is, you turn on your ears here. You open your ears and you listen to it all. You don't just make up and spin it the way you want it to come out. Nobody said that Russell Wilson was worse with Sean Payton. What I said was Russell Wilson started into a system at Denver. That system didn't work. They fired the head coach. He's gone. Now in comes Sean Payton, whom does what? Runs a very complex, probably the most complex system inside of the NFL, period. Go do yourself a favor and listen to a play call for Sean Payton, and maybe it'll start to sway you a little bit on what I'm trying to put down here. I never said Russ was worse there. Sean and Russ never got along. Okay? Some people just don't jive, bro. And you're not learning Sean Payton's system in one season. You're not. It's not going to happen. I don't care. There's very few players that will come in and be able to do that. That's just the facts. Nobody says it was worse for Russ or not. The situation didn't work out. Don't spin the narrative into something that you want it to be, bro. That's not how conversations work. You listen to everything, and you listen to the whole rigmarole here. Sneaky Pete, he didn't want Russell Wilson. Peyton is arrogant piece of crap. Kevin Schroyer, Timothy, name 5 players on your team not named Hurts, A.J. Brown, or Lane Johnson without using Google. Oh, you know he's looking them up. He is. It's all right. It's all right, Timothy. You can talk all the shit you want. It's cool, but we'll see what happens at the end of the season when the Steelers are hitting their stride and they lay the ass beating and the Eagles just fly, Eagles fly right back to Philadelphia. Hey, do you remember that time? I remember it very vividly. I know the Steelers have taken a couple ass beatings from the Eagles, so I'll give you that one. But I remember a time very vividly when Hines Ward was in the end zone giving the bird. Oh, I remember those days. Those were fun to watch. I like those. David Henneke, is that your new office? No, it's still my bonus room. I just started making a more permanent location. I got to bring up my actual real desk and stuff. I'm still using my little folding table, so it'll get better. So things will get propped up a little bit more. I'll get my real chair. But I'm just going to chill in here for now until my wife kicks me out of here when she wants to make this into something, and then I'll find a new home. Yes, let's go, people. Hit the shit out of that like button and subscribe and share. The best show in town is here. Thank you, Miss Pittsburgh. Appreciate it. Again, guys, please hit that like button for your boy Jason here on Mike Drop Sports. We are here daily talking NFL, talking Steelers football. As, again, the season is about to get moving and things are about to be a lot better because we're going to have some good stuff to talk about. And I think it'll be an awesome 2024. We are being realistic. If you come here, Timothy, this is as realistic as you're probably going to get. Because there ain't no clickbaiting for money here. There ain't none of that shit going on. I'm going to tell you the truth, the reality of it. And the reality is what the reality is. I don't spin the narrative and only look at the points that justify my way of thinking, my theories on what's going on. Or, I don't do that. I look at the whole broad picture, man. I give everything credit in the equation, man. You just don't discount pieces to make it the way you want it. And I think that's the problem with social media. I think that's the problem with a lot of sports channels. They leave a lot of shit out on why they would think a certain way. I'm just weighing it all in. The truth is the truth. The truth is this. No football team goes without the offensive line. And the Steelers could be in real damn trouble right now, losing players left and right. Broderick Jones has an injury. He has an elbow injury. And regardless of what these people are telling you, that's affecting him, dude. You got 300 and some pound guys that can run really fast trying to get by you. And you can't tell me that if your elbow is sore and hurting and vulnerable, that is not going to hinder your play. I mean, it's going to. That's a problem. You see Isaac Seumalo strain that pec today. That's a problem. Hey, former Philadelphia Eagle there, bro. Yeah, we have a couple of those. Another one's hurt, Nate Herbig. Those guys, man. So we'll see. But without an offensive line, no football team goes. I don't care who you have at wide receiver. I don't care who you have at quarterback. If you have shitty offensive line play, you are going to be in for a long, long season of pain, baby, because you're going to get rocked back there. You're going to get tore up if you're a running back. You're going to get tore up if you're a quarterback. And the wide receivers are going to be doing their diva bullshit, bitching they ain't getting the football. That's the truth. That's the whole truth of it. And people overlook that shit because all we do is do what? Play these dumbass fantasy things to where it's like, yeah, I got my boy here. Long as he gets his yards, I'm happy. That fantasy bullshit, And it's like literally, man, people that play fantasy, they only look at skill players. Look at the people that are playing in front of them that I got a block for them. Look at the people that are calling the plays. Look at their tendencies. That might make you a little bit better at fantasy football. I just thought of that. Maybe I should do that. Jason Ferguson, we are the Eagles. Will choke their season away again and finish second to the Cowboys. The Cowgirls. D at Russ. Oh, sorry. He's talking to Russ. The Steelers could have gotten Jalen Hurts, but opted to draft Chase Claypool. Yeah, I'd have rather had Jalen Hurts for sure. Craig Werlow asks, are you surprised they haven't signed another wide receiver? Yes and no, Craig. I can see why they haven't and where. Yeah, I can see why. And I can understand Omar Khan's thought process right now. You're not trying to overpay for any of these guys. You're not trying to get bamboozled by another team, and you have to have a backbone, and you have to stand pat. And I did a show about that earlier today. Omar Khan doesn't play that bullshit, and some may get a little heated with him over that because he's not pulling the trigger on these moves and spending all types of crazy money. But we know the Steelers, too, and another reason it's not surprising. The Steelers spend the lowest amounts of actual cash each season in terms of like big bonuses and shit. The Steelers are always ranked lowest in the league in that. So they just don't go out and just fire all types of money around. So that makes it not surprising to me. But when you look at Roman Wilson's injury, I thought that would have been the real bump in the ass to where it would have made them go out there and get something done. So maybe that surprises me a little bit. I still think that there's some hope for some other target to come in that's significant. I'm not sure who that target may be. I don't think anybody really truly knows who that target may be. But I'm looking for a serious upgrade, and we'll see. I still think there's hope, but I'm not shocked. But yet again, I am a little bit surprised because of Roman Wilson's injury that they have not. I'm also thinking that they make a move maybe with an offensive lineman. I think that they understand what the priority is, and it has to be the offensive line. So I think the Steelers have put a major emphasis on that, and I think they'll continue to do so, and maybe they make a move there. And we'll see. We'll see. But there's some definite needs still, but I'm not shocked. I'm not overly shocked, but I still just a little surprised they didn't with Roman when Roman got hurt. Not hope, just what I've seen. Kevin Schroyer, I don't hate the Eagles. I just hate 99.7% of their fans. Philly is the worst part of PA. So based off your logic, Steelers go 9-8. Based off my logic and my way too early predictions, I have the Steelers going 11-6 in the regular season. 11-6, 10-7. That's where I have them. I think that's a comfortable place for me to predict them to get to. All I can say is if you are betting on the Steelers and the over-under is 8.5, which it is, do yourself a favor and go bet the barn, baby, because it will definitely be more than 8.5. I can guarantee that. Well, I guess I can't guarantee it, but I think it would be a pretty safe bet. Chris, I am from Newberry, South Carolina, and I'm going to hear the ceiling fans. Hear the ceiling fan. Do you think Russell Wilson is better than? I'm not sure, Chris, what you're trying to ask, buddy. Do I think he's better? Who he is better than? I still think he's a top, 20 quarterback, I guess, in the NFL. I don't know. I'm going to have to see how he plays this year, man. I don't think he did bad. He had, 2 less touchdown passes than the NFL MVP that everybody praises and worships in Lamar Jackson. So, I just don't think he had a horrible year. We'll see. I'm going to want to see him play a few regular season games here, and I'll give you a little bit better assessment on what I think Russell Wilson's able to do. And I'll give you my honest opinion. I don't care if he's just winning ball games. I'll still point out his deficiencies and what I think he doesn't do well. But I think he's a very serviceable quarterback, a veteran quarterback that is steady and going to be consistent. And I think if you look at the way the Steelers are built this year in 2024, that's all you're looking for out of the quarterback play is consistency, steadiness, a guy that is not going to panic in the big moments, a guy that has been there under the big or on the big stage, under the big bright lights. You want a guy like that. Now, maybe in 2025, when you got a lot of available cap space and you're adding a lot more playmakers, perhaps, theoretically, you would want a more high-flying quarterback and try to create a more high-flying, acrobatic offense. But for this year, the main focus has to be time of possession, ball control, running it down teams' throats, and playing really good defense. And that has to be the formula probably for success, allowing Russell Wilson to hit a big splash play here and there. He does have a big arm, and it's still present, and he can still push the football down the field. So, yeah, we'll have to see how Russell does, but I wasn't sure exactly what your question was there. Roberta Campbell, I think we can say if they are better or worse, seeing as we haven't played a regular season game yet. Last season we went 4-0 in preseason, and we ended up one and done in the playoffs. Let's go. Yeah, no doubt. And I always tell people that I refuse to ever get too high, refuse to ever get too low again on preseason play. And I caution everybody that every week right before the preseason game. Don't put too much stock into it. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. They're not coming out there with a real game plan. They're not giving away a ton of their offense. They're not putting out their week one scheme that they're going to be using down in Atlanta. This team will look vastly different come week one, and rightfully so because it's preseason. You're just trying to evaluate players, fundamentals of players, looking at steady growth week in, week out of the preseason. Those are the things that you're looking for in order to formulate your roster. And let's face the facts, guys. A lot of these guys don't have a prayer of making the football team, and they kind of know what this roster is going to look like ahead of the preseason. It's just those few spots that are always up in the air, those few surprise players. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But don't ever put too much stock into that preseason. RFC Banana, do you remember me? Shoot, buddy. I don't think so, bro. Maybe. Kind of looks familiar. Wave your towels for Miss Pittsburgh. Appreciate it. Sam Mason, would you agree that last year Russell Wilson had a monster O-line to work with? Broncos lost one of those three studs this year. I felt like they had a good offensive line there, no doubt, which helps, man. You need that. You have to have that. Himothy, what a basic take that Sean Payton has a complicated offense. Mike McDaniels had Tua knowing his offense by week one. What's your point? That's such a basic take there, Himothy. Buddy, if you could do any better than what I'm doing, I welcome you to email me at MikeDropSports@yahoo.com. You can come on and speak your piece, man. I love a challenge. You can come on and talk, and we can hear your amazing football knowledge and what you got to pass on to us. And we can have a conversation. Yeah, so no problem. Email me, and I'll send you a link, man. You can come on tomorrow if you want. Craig Warlow, need to wrap the offensive line in a bubble. Yeah, our bubble wrap until the season start, please. No more injury. Yeah, no doubt. And that's always it, man. I just hope, honestly, if you're a fan of an NFL football team, you just want them to get their injuries out of the way early in the season, man. Just get them out of the way because you know they're going to happen. But injuries play a key role in this whole thing. And I always tell everybody, too, what's the second most important thing behind the offensive line? And that's depth, because the injuries are coming in the NFL, baby. It is definitely something that happens frequently, man. They always got bumps and bruises. Cuban crisis. Steelers all day. Kevin Shorter, too, is trash. He has Waddle and Hill, and they play awful against teams over 500. Yeah, when you have that kind of firepower on your football team, and the way they just went and paid Tua, damn. I just think he should do more. I think he should be better. It's just my opinion. I just don't know. I don't think Tua is that great, man. I just really don't. Baylor Bear 03, Steelers suck. Go Texans. Ah, come on, Baylor Bear 03. Don't worry, we love everybody. Even Himothy, who's been a jackass. We still love him. JM, yeah, I've been here a few times with questions and received quality response. Well, thank you, JM. Appreciate it. Jason shoots it straight. He may be a little over optimistic with Russell Wilson, but you don't have a choice at the moment. If you're a Steelers fan, you really don't, D. I'm not overly optimistic. I would just say I'm trying to be fair to him, and I don't want to discount him yet without getting to be able to see him play. And you're right, you don't really have a choice. You want to bring in a guy with a major and huge deficiencies in Justin Fields and roll that dice. I definitely think Russell is the better choice right now. And we'll have to see. I just want to give him a fair shake. And I know how the boo birds can come out in Pittsburgh real quick. But I'm just trying to give him that fair and honest take before I really crucify him. He may be crucified before week 3. Samalo stayed hurt in Philly. Yeah, he's had some problems. What's up, Tyler? Greetings. How are you doing tonight? I'm doing well, man. Hope you're doing good, man. Oh, you're doing well. Awesome, man. It's one in the trenches. That's where it is one. And people overlook that, man. It is a fantasy league, man. That's all we look at as skill players. That's all anybody cares about. That's all anybody ever freaking talks about. But the real heroes, the real guys that matter, the guys that win and lose ball games are in the trenches. And till you are able to look at that as a fan, you're going to be blinded by some of this bullshit with the wide receiver talk and the, all the other stuff. You got to focus on the real foundation of a football team, and that is in the trenches. And if your football team isn't secure there, you're going to bet that you got to buckle up because times are going to get tough, man. You may be able to squeak out some wins, but it's going to be very, very tough to win those games when the offensive line is beat up, playing rough. So it's got to really be that next man up mentality on the offensive line. They really got to be able to come in, plug and play, and be serviceable to good, man. Or otherwise you're going to have a rough time. Love the wall. Thanks, Spiker. Appreciate you. Scorpio. Do Steelers fans hate the Ravens or Bengals more? I'd say they hate the Ravens more because the Ravens have been more quality of a competition. And no offense to any of the Bengals fans. But if you look over the time, I gave you a statistic of Lamar Jackson and his record against the Steelers. And yeah, it's piss poor. And you look at the rivalry as of late, it's a pretty one-sided rivalry right now. The Steelers really own the Ravens right now, and that's just the way it is. But if you look out through history and time of the Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers rivalry, I would say that's a more heated rivalry here in the more modern era. Maybe the Bengals and Browns, maybe before that, were a little bit more of a rivalry. But right now, I'd say the fans probably hate the Ravens a little bit more. But don't worry, I think we hate all AFC North teams equally. Ratbirds, yeah, Ferguson, I agree. Himothy, hey, you can come on and speak your piece, man. Email me at Mike Drop Sports, and I'll be happy to have you on, and you can talk. But for now, I'm kind of done. Super chat. Oh, Biz, super chat from Biz, man. Thank you, man. I respectfully disagree with your 11-win analysis. The team doesn't seem better than last season. O-line issues, wide receiver issues, and secondary doesn't seem good. Love the stream, though. Thanks, Biz. I appreciate it, and that's the beauty of it, brother. We are allowed to disagree, and I love it. And that's what this is all about, man, is that talk, finding everything out, man, and I truly appreciate it. And you guys know your shit, and I can't discount the things that you're worried about. I can't say that they're non-issues. I can't say that there's things that you're saying there that aren't 1,000% true. But I look at this overall team, and I got to say I think it's better on paper. Just my opinion. Now, we're going to have to see him play. We're going to have to see the quarterback situation, how it pans out. Is Russ going to be able to be steady? Is he going to be able to be consistent? That's the big thing. And how's this offensive line come together? The injuries do scare the shit out of me, man. And Broderick Jones, that injury there is a puzzling one with the elbow, the way he's played. A guy I had super high hopes in. Troy Fautanu with the knee. Isaac Seumalo with the pec. Nate Herbig, torn rotator cuff. You're looking at a vastly different offensive line than what you thought as a Steelers fan would be suiting up in Atlanta week 1. It's going to be full of some young guys, first, second year guys going out there trying to get the job done. You're going to have guys like Spencer Anderson, rookie Zach Frazier at center. Those things are going to be a problem. And the wide receiver issues that you're talking about, I just think it's, a matter of how you're looking at it right now and what you're looking at these receivers may have done in the past, a couple of them, and what they possibly could do again. I could see your concern there because honestly, it could be concerning. We'll see. I don't got the crystal ball here. I can't predict the future, tell you exactly what's going to happen. I just have confidence in what I saw Van Jefferson do before, the only time he was truly healthy in the league, and when he actually got to play, I saw good production out of him. I think George Pickens is a real deal superstar. I think Calvin Austin is going to take a significant leap and truly, really, I know it's his third year, but I know it's really his second year playing. So I think he's going to take a big leap. And hopefully Roman Wilson can get healthy and get on track. I really like the tight end room. I think that there's some high quality talent there. I think there's an X factor in Connor Hayward if utilized correctly as an H-back type player. So there's a lot of things that I'm high on. I could disagree about the secondary. I think it's okay. I think you're going to get to see a little bit more of a clear picture here once they're able to go down to Atlanta and play with all the starters, a real complete unit. Mink, Deshaun Elliott, KZ, Joey Porter Jr. You're going to hopefully get to see Corey Trice get to be a contributor this year. We'll see. I like it. I think it's going to be okay. I think they'll be all right. And the speed of the linebackers, I think, is significant to not discount there. Lots of things to talk about. That's the crazy thing. When you go through it like that and you just start listing shit off in your head, there's a lot that you could be concerned about, and there's a lot that you could get behind, But thank you again, Biz. I appreciate that. Eagles have a solid offense this year. This is from JM. Defensive injuries in the secondary caught up to the Eagles after the 49ers and Matt Patricia destroyed their last chances with his garbage scheme. Yeah, I don't know enough about the Eagles. I won't sit here and pretend like I do. I'd have to brush up on them a little bit more. But I just saw what happened to them last year, and I thought their roster was quite a good one, a really good one, And they didn't do much damage last year. I know it's tough to come off that Super Bowl loss. They had a good year before that. That's always tough. That's always a hard year to come and get through all that bullshit after losing and dropping a Super Bowl in the way they did. Well, yeah. We'll have to give them the free pass there. We'll see how they do in 2024. Jamie D, I wish I could disagree with you, but O-line and D-lines make them roll, blocking and tackling. Yeah, man, Chuck knew that. I think a lot of the really good coaches, that's their focus, man, is the trenches. And that's where you got to be. That's where you got to be, man. That's where it all starts. And if you're building a franchise, if I'm a GM and I just start getting a job, or I just got a job at a new place, and I understand it's a win now league, and they're going to probably fire you quickly. But you got to start out with that. You got to start out with the trenches. You got to focus on the offensive and defensive fronts. That's the real way to get your franchise moving in the right direction, because there's no sense in going out there and grabbing some great quarterback that's going to get murdered back there. I mean, if the opportunity presents itself and there's a generational talent sitting there right in front of you, and you haven't quite got the offensive line, yeah, pick them, whatever, go do it, and then worry about it and build around them. But I just think if you don't have the opportunity to go get any type of generational talent, you just get a serviceable guy back there that can get the job done, focus on the offensive, defensive fronts, and really build from there and allow your franchise to grow. I think that that's the real true way to get it done, because if you have a good offensive line, you can always run the football. That helps. Time of possession. It helps just moving the chains, man. Keeping the defense off the field, allowing them to be fresh. And if you have a good defensive front, the pressure they're able to put, stuff in the run, the way they're able to wear down the offensive fronts of opposing teams, it's just so important, man. Biz doesn't think they're going to get a wide receiver. At this point, Biz, I just don't even know. It's getting crazy. 1 minute you think it, and then the next minute it's like, what the hell are they doing? You don't know. It's just nuts. Jason Ferguson, no, you're it's over, guys. Let it go. It's all right, Timothy. We still love you. Just let it go. Tom Ford in 1943, the Steelers and the Eagles joined together to form a complete team during World War II. They hated each other and fought over who should coach. And that team, guys, was called the Steagles. Yeah, I remember. Well, I wasn't alive. I remember hearing about that, which is a pretty cool thing. Roberta Campbell, JM, at least you didn't have to put up with the one where football OC for several. Yeah, Canada was tough. That was a tough time, man. The Canada era was not fun, dude. That was horrible offense. Horrible offense. That was so JV. I look at my kids' playbook and I'm like, damn, I think we run a more complex offense than Matt Canada did. Top 20 quarterback isn't going 11-6. It depends on how you look at it. I've seen guys that are not a top 20 quarterback have good records, make it to the playoffs, win games. It's how the team plays, man. What's the scheme? What are you trying to win? Or how are you trying to win? Time of possession, running the football, controlling the clock, all that kind of shit. Or are you trying to win by playing really solid defense? The offense hit a play here or there. You're not trying to get in shootouts. How are you going to win ball games? What's your philosophy? What's your scheme? And definitely a top 20 quarterback can win and be 11-6 inside of the NFL. I could guarantee you that. You can come back here at the end of the season and let me know how wrong I was or how right I was. Brian Johnson was on par with Canada. Tom Ford, they were called the Steagles. I have the shirt. I want a shirt like that, Tom. That would be sweet. Tyler, speaking of the Philadelphia Eagles, I got players who played for them and the Pittsburgh Steelers on the brain. Do you remember Michael Vick's tenure with the Pittsburgh Steelers? Yeah, I remember old Mad Dog Mike Vick. I remember it well. He had one good performance. I think it was against the Chargers or something. I remember him coming in and lighting it up. All right, guys, make sure we're hitting that like button. We're about 53 minutes into the stream here. I'm going to start wrapping it up, winding it down. If I haven't got to your chat questions, come back tomorrow, put them in there. I'll try to get to them all again. But we really do focus on trying to get all the comments answered and getting you guys involved. So I truly appreciate you guys all filling the chat up tonight. It's been a very lively chat. I appreciate it. And again, we don't have to agree, guys. That's what I appreciate most about the channel, is not agreeing and talking about it and going over all of it. It makes for great conversation. So definitely never be fearful of putting something in there. Throw it in there, man. We don't have to agree. Jason Ferguson, what does it matter who knows football and who doesn't? Who cares if you can't in? Yeah, let it go. It's all right, boys. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. It's all good. Nicknames Eagles, Philly tampons. They can only play for one period and don't have a second shirt. That's a good one, Russ. That was a catchy one. That was a good one, man. I like that. Sean Payton and John Gruden are the most overrated coaches of all time. Not even close. From Dakota Miller, Sean. I don't know, man. I don't think they're overrated. They've won Super Bowls. Very complex schemes. Guys that were innovators. Sean Payton's still in the league. Innovative type guy. I can't say they're overrated. Maybe slightly. Maybe people put them up on a pedestal a little bit, but definitely good coaches. Gruden might be one that you could say is a little bit overrated. Sean Payton's pretty good. He did. I mean, you got to have a quarterback to win, Kevin. No doubt. You got to have somebody that can get the job done. Breeze got the job done. He was a solid quarterback. It was surprising to me when the San Diego Chargers at the time, that's where they were, got rid of Drew Brees. It was a shocker to me because I thought he was a really quality quarterback, man. No doubt about it. And thankfully for him, he got out of that situation in San Diego. They weren't going to win a Super Bowl. So definitely cool for Drew, but shocking to me that they got rid of him. They are, D. The Boo Birds will come down, baby. They will rain down on you at Acrisure Stadium. I've been there when it's happened, man. They will eat somebody alive. You will hear boos out in the middle of downtown from that stadium. Tyler, in regards to what Craig Werlo said earlier, I'd say wrap up the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line in bubble wrap while holding together with copious amounts of duct tape. Yeah, at this point, we need it, man. You are right, dude, for sure. Robert Road, Jason, you and I both know that Russell Wilson is a massive upgrade at quarterback compared to what we had. I think it's an upgrade. He's a guy that's won a Super Bowl, so I have to say that he's an upgrade. He has the resume, And no matter how much I wish I would have got to see Mason Rudolph for a real go at it, just to see what he really could do, we didn't get that chance, and we're not going to. So, yeah, I definitely think Russ is far better than that quarterback room last year. Now, I heard somebody on national television saying that Russ is slightly better than Kenny Pickett, slightly better than Mitchell Trubisky. Get the hell out of here. Mitchell Trubisky is an unpolished turd. Kenny Pickett is an unpolished turd that has no guts and intestinal fortitude and doesn't want to have any type of battle in front of him. He doesn't have to work for his job and battle against somebody. So the minute the Steelers brought somebody in, Kenny Pickett ran with his tampon string between his legs and rolled down to Philadelphia. So I was just, going off of Russ's good joke. But yeah, man. Craig Werlo, I've gone for a bit. Are you on later every night now? I've been trying to do about 8:15, Craig. So that's where I've been. But as our football practice ends a little bit early here, once it starts getting darker, we don't have lights where we practice. So my time will definitely come down a little bit, but we'll be about 7:45, 8 o'clock. That's probably where we'll end up staying, Kevin Shorter, the fact he's allowed to coach still after the bounty crap, intentionally trying to hurt players is asinine. That whole staff should be banned from the NFL. Yeah, I didn't agree with that. I don't want to ever see that kind of shit in the NFL. Everybody makes mistakes, though. I don't know how the league, really feels about that situation right now. I know they suspended him, did all that shit. I don't know. I don't think lifetime ban would have been right, but definitely the punishment was well deserved and bullshit. You never go out there and try to hurt anybody. That's crazy. That's how people are feeding their families. That's how they're making a living. That's their job. So that's where it really gets, sore with me because that's their job. That's how they feed their kids, man. That's how they do their life. Robert Road, Wilson is an upgrade compared to Pickett, but a downgrade from Rudolph. I wouldn't say a downgrade from Rudolph. I'd have loved to see Mason get a chance. I really would have, but it didn't happen. Walter Lemley can't stand the Ravens. Kevin Shorter hate the Ravens, but respect the Ravens. Nice. That's how I am too. Robert Rhodes, small sample size, but Rudolph did save Christmas. He did. Ho, ho, ho. Ernest really saved Christmas. Yeah, but he didn't win the starting job. Is that not shocking to you, D? I thought he beat out Will Levis down there, but evidently they didn't think so. All right, guys, I got to wrap it up. We're hitting our hour mark. So, again, if I didn't get to your chat, I'm sorry. I'm stopping right there with Kevin and D right there at that comment before I scroll up anymore, because otherwise I'll sit here for another hour going through the comments, because I always want to answer everybody because I feel like it's so super important for you guys to be involved in the show. So, thank you guys for a great stream. Lots of concurrent viewers tonight while we were on there. Appreciate that. We stayed steady, and appreciate the super chats. Biz, Miss Pittsburgh, you guys were awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. And the likes were cool. So make sure you hit that like button though before you leave. And then we'll be back tomorrow. Thursday, Friday, we're going to hit it hard. Friday, I'll have a little bit more time. I don't have like any commitments Friday afternoon. So we'll be able to hit it hard in the evening, get started right at about 7:45, 8 o'clock. So I'll be back in the morning with our morning upload. So until then, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Peace. Thank you, guys.